Okay.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. T, do you want to do the mantra?
When you give up hope, all will be hopeless. Never give up.
Good. Okay, so let's see, I was not here yesterday. For some reason, somehow we've got more cooler in this room.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not start.
I didn't notice.
Now that winter's coming, it's going to get colder.
Great.
Okay, so just a couple housekeeping things. Oh, today is what, Armando?
November 10th.
November 10th, 2017. We're here in Las Vegas. And so we've had a couple changes in the room. First of all, I want everybody to understand, you don't hurt me when you do dumb things. You hurt yourself, but really what happens is it just shows the people here at the jail that there's no point helping. So whenever I get graded, I usually get, A minus in terms of people's learning, where you start and where you finish at the end of this. But I always get a D or an F in changing criminal behavior or mentality. So why somebody would steal the inside of a pen, I just don't get. Greg didn't tell you that yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Why somebody would do this, I don't know. Because you can have all of those pens that you want. I kind of think it was more of a fuck you, here's what I can do. And I don't go around checking, okay, give me your pen, does it work, does it work, does it work? But I have to report stuff like this. Because if I don't report it, it's just like when I was at camp, the knife was missing in the kitchen, and I don't report it, then I got very serious trouble. Or a potato peeler or anything is missing, screwdriver is missing. So things like this I have to report. And, the functional bottom line is, see, you're just kind of wasting your time. This is why we don't have programs like this, because these people don't give a fuck about themselves. And, if you don't care, why should anyone else care about it? Why should they? If you don't care about yourself, why should anyone else care? Okay, so, we are a team. So when one person fucks up, it's going to affect the rest of us. I don't know if anybody noticed the internet is not so good today, but we almost lost that too. Now, how would this class be if you could not do Coursera?
Not good at all.
Okay. I'm trying to get it so we can do Google Cloud stuff that is in the contract. But the IT people said there's too much of a risk. Can't trust these people. They're going to try to do a prison escape. Well, how are they going to do that? Well, they're going to be sending emails and things to their friends, messages to their friends. So when they're in court, when they go over to court, the other friends are going to know and something's going to happen. So we're just not going to fucking do it. We're not going to let them have access to the Google Apps because you can't trust these people. They don't give a shit about themselves. And my thing is, look, it's free. We're not charging you to do it. We'll supply the computers. We'll do everything. Yeah, it doesn't work for everybody, but why not let the people who do care, why not help them get back on a path to a meaningful and purposeful life?
Because the jail's administration is not going to wind up with egg on their face.
Well,
no
it's
matter
not
what.
their job. Their job is to keep people locked up in a safe environment. Their job is not to be the school system, but their attitude is it's not going to work.
Maybe you should appoint a second in command to collect the pens, but also that person is responsible to look at the pens and make sure that no person is chewing on the end of the pen and then eating and swallowing the butt part of the pen And they're probably taking the inside out just because they want to be a jerk, because they feel that
Okay.
whatever they feel.
So that would be a good idea if you were not men. It's a very good idea if you're not men. If we're boys, then what do we need? That's exactly what we need to do, 100%. The problem is, if you go to work and you act like a boy and they want men, what happens?
Fire.
Yeah, not good, not good. So I believe if we want to play in the NFL, we have to train for the NFL. If you want to have stable, meaningful employment and have a good job, you have to be prepared for that. You know, when you're 18 years old, employers in this country, they're conditioned to be, well, I was 18 months and somebody brought me in. It doesn't work when you're 35, or how old are you? 48. Okay. Oh, okay. It doesn't work when you're 48. Guys don't say, well, I was 48. Well, I am 48. I'm not 48. But they don't give chances to people who are 48.
No.
Okay, it's okay, you're 18 years old, I was 18, I didn't know anything, I'm going to put up with aggravation because you're 18, but whatever. They don't do it when you're 48, or 38, or 28, or 25 and you have a criminal record. They just don't do it. So my thing is to act like men, to treat people like men. But it's more important to me that this program continues than it is to treat people like men. So if we have to treat people like boys to keep the program working, we will, but it's not really a good strategy for when you get out. Not really a good strategy for when you get out, because the employers aren't going to go for that. So I didn't want Greg to give that message, but the thing was, you know, from on high was, take and I think I told everybody, we're not supposed to be using these things.
Right.
Okay, it's don't ask, don't tell.
It's almost like it happened immediately after you mentioned that. Once you mentioned that, that's when the very next day.
Didn't it happen in the afternoon session?
No,
Oh, it didn't?
no, it happened in this class.
Oh, Greg said it happened in the afternoon
Well,
session.
Greg didn't really know. It happened in this class. We found out about it in the afternoon because I passed out the pens and somebody said, I can't write with this. And I collected the pens, but my thing is, I'm not acting like a cop. I'm not a cop. I don't act like a cop. I act like an employer. And as an employer, I expect people are going to be trustworthy. And to take something like that when we have a million of these is dumb. And then to be on YouTube is really fucked for everyone. Okay, so, you know, I don't know about here. I don't know about in jail here, but I know in California, the men just handle it themselves. And I'm not saying they handle it violently. They just say, hey, knock that shit off. When I ran the kitchen at my labor camp where I was, my message was very simple. It was what? I didn't tell this class the story. So when I got to camp, so I got full pack, which means fire camp, and you can go on fires. Were you in California? Okay, were you?
I was in the NDF, the Ocean 2014.
Okay, well, California is totally different than here. California is a real profession of firefighters because there's a lot more that burns in California, and there are 35 fire camps in California. And the typical camp has 4 fire crews, but I was at the disciplinary camp. But if you're educated at camp, they don't let you go on a fire crew. They have you in camp because the inmates basically run the camp. And because I had experience in the restaurant, I got in the kitchen, and then I got made lead cook and rations clerk for the camp. And in camp, Big problem. Okay, in California camp, the food allowance is $2.90 per inmate per day for food. What can you get at McDonald's for $2.90?
Burger,
Okay, so the whole food allowance in California is $2.90 a day. And it actually goes a long way, because if you have labor and you start with beans or potatoes or flour or lettuce, and you have guys that are starting from scratch, you can eat a lot. So, but at our camp, the food cost was $3.77
Per meal all day.
for all day.
It's an 80-cent differential.
And it was because of people stealing food. And why do people steal food in prison?
They're
Right?
starving.
Because they're starving to death.
Make money.
sell it,
They trade.
to sell it.
Sell it, pay gambling debts
Because they can't.
because they can. And so, my thing is, remember, I went to prison because I said I'm not going to plead guilty to something I didn't do. I went to prison for 7 years because I said that. And not because of, I got offered a 6-year term and I negotiated it down to 3, like my co-defendants. I got a 6-year offer and I did 7 because I said I'm not going to plead guilty to something I didn't do. And they said, well, you can do this kind of plea. And so when I got to camp, my thing is, men do not steal. Period. Men don't steal. Other people steal, men don't steal. And we have to go in the kitchen because we're supposed to be supporting people on fire crews. And guys that are on fire crews, when there's no fire, what do you think they do?
Tree lines.
Hmm?
They cut down trees and make tree lines.
Okay, what happens if it's during the winter?
Shovel
So we
snow.
shovel the neighborhood sidewalks and streets.
Yeah, you do
I do
great
that
projects every day.
every day.
You're out there every day. And it starts with like a 2-hour hike up the mountain.
Yeah.
And these guys
work
in
their way down,
California,
and there's like a foot of snow.
these guys in California are like greyhounds. Really fit, not bulky, but they can walk 10 hours with a 30-pound pack on their back.
Jesus.
And sleep in the black at night, because they do it every day. They don't, that's how it is. If you don't like it, it's okay. There's a bus coming Wednesday. There's 10 guys that want your spot. You can go back to the institution. No problem. I'm not going to argue with you. It is, as the lead cook, the thing was, no matter how good the meal was, after it was over, it was, you're one bad meal away from the bus back. Okay, not, hey, good meal tonight. You're one bad meal away from being back on the bus.
Explain that, please.
So as the lead cook, you're responsible for the meal.
Oh, got.
They have to be ready at this time. Everybody gets 30 minutes total to eat their food, and it's totally segregated by race. Okay, so guys come in, they go through line, they get their food, they eat, and they leave. If the food isn't ready or it's not right, big problems because the camp supports the thing. So my thing was, men do not steal, period. Other people steal, men don't steal. And then there would be the typical, what would they say, Jamie? What would some people say?
What's that?
Huh?
What's that?
What would some people say in response to, we don't steal?
Jailhouse thieves. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
They say, it's state food. It's not your food. You don't decide. You can't tell me what to do. I said, well, you can't tell me that I can't tell you what to do. Now what? And so that's kind of the standard. So I'm not going to go around saying to people, acting to you like you're a criminal, because when you go to work, your boss is not expecting they're hiring people who are criminals. They just won't do it. Not a good job. Yeah, some people will, but not a good job. And it's not hurting me. You're not hurting me by having the internet shut off. This program is free. I'm not getting paid. I don't get paid from the county. I don't get graded from the county. These aren't their computers. This is all the school I work for stuff. So do you think they're gonna say, get the fuck out if people are stealing shit or going on that?
They're just gonna shut it down.
Class will be closed and we.
No, they're just saying, well, we're taking away this and, you know, we're taking away that, but we just got a new 2-year contract with the Department of Corrections, and we're supposed to start putting campuses in the prisons. So it's not hurt. So my point is, if you're doing this because you think it's gonna get me in trouble, it's not gonna get me in trouble. Because they just say to me, see, that's why we told you don't give them pens, because they're criminals. They're not good guys who made bad decisions. They're not dumb people. They're bad people. Now, I choose to not believe that. So in my reticular activation system, what is my belief?
Good.
My belief is people can choose to be good, or you can choose to be not good. But you should not choose to be dumb. Okay? Dumb, this is dumb.
This shit's stupid.
Okay, this is dumb.
Yes, you are.
Okay, because again, the very next class, when the pens get passed around, I'm not looking at the pens when I take them out of the back pouch. I just hand them out, and somebody's gonna say, hey, I can't use this pen.
The person who did it just didn't give a shit.
Okay?
You don't.
When, you know, when it's YouTube, they have people in the IT department looking at what's being used. And they know exactly what computer. If I take this computer here and plug it in over there, A, it's not even gonna work. It's not gonna get on the internet again, because they have this thing locked down. And people, the reason you sit in the same seats every day is because what?
Accountability.
Because they need to know who's sitting in each seat. So when they find out this computer right here is on YouTube watching stupid things that have nothing to do with this class.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye-bye, little baby.
Now, they're not really, they don't really care. They're not really spending time monitoring this. But when something happens, then they start looking at what else happened. Because it's never one thing, it's many things. It's not just one thing. That's just a symptom of other things. So my suggestion is just kind of plant this thing in here that says, I'm only hurting myself by acting like a bad employee. Not hurting the company. Not in this case. Yeah, you could. If you're working in a company and you decide, you're working in a restaurant, you decide to take a shit and put it in your food, you hurt the company. That's why they don't hire people who've been in criminal situations in restaurants, because, do you think it's uncommon if you're in prison for people to spit in the food that are working in the kitchen? You think it's uncommon? You're shaking your head like that.
I'm shaking my head. People actually do that?
Yeah, they do.
I don't mean to be naive, but that is just foul.
Because people don't care about other people. It makes them feel good to do
Where's
things
their
like
head at? Jesus.
Yeah.
I see an executive chef drop a steak on the floor, pick it back up, put it on the grill, and then serve it.
Fucking gross.
Well, I was at a restaurant the other night, and I ordered a steak. And the waiter comes over and like this, and he has his thumb on the steak.
Uh-oh.
And I say, hey, why is your thumb on my steak? And he said, well, so it doesn't fall on the floor again.
Oh, no, it did
No,
not.
that's a joke.
Oh.
You can use that one. So, okay, so let's move forward. Okay. You're pushing the replay button, Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, move on. Okay, now, good presenter?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, he was just humorous, he just made me feel more relaxed, it felt really comfortable.
Okay. Wait, time out. Does anybody have any memorization?
I got it.
Okay, so we're gonna do that first because we have people that are watching that like the energy people put into doing memorization. It makes people feel good to see other people doing things. And as we saw from Joshua 4, that in the past, having a good memory was something people cared about. And it just kind of resonates with people now when they see people doing something. So Nathan, here's the thing. To complete the class, to pass the class, there's some memorization we have to do. It starts out really simple, and you will earn that book. Unfortunately, we don't have, they've ordered more books.
Can I write it down for him?
Yeah, you can do that. Well, I'd let him write it. Yeah, Steve.
I didn't bring my book, but I'm just kind of brainstorming what I could do. What if I went back and tried to remember the poems I've already done without being able to reread the poems right now before walking up? So basically, it's a quiz on top of my old quiz, and I'm going back to try and refresh myself to see if it's been stored in my memory banks and is resonating.
Yeah, you can. So Christopher's gonna go first. Anyone else?
I'll go with you Monday, because I just got my brain.
So that means no.
No.
But these are things you should try to remember for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah, one of the things that in the 16-week program, which is the new one for the Department of Corrections, 16 weeks, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, is drink to me only with thine eyes and I will pledge with mine, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of guys that are in prison like to memorize that because it makes them think of their girlfriend, wife, whatever. And then they write it in letters to them. And it makes them, first law of power to their girlfriend is, hey, wow, you're becoming more sensitive, you're becoming smarter in prison, you're becoming more valuable. Okay, so Chris, and then T, you're gonna see how many you can remember?
Yes.
Okay. Now Janelle in the afternoon class did that too. Okay, what are you doing?
People song.
Pick a song. I got it. Thank you, Scott. Who's gonna do the, all right. Action.
The years in the spring, days in the morn, mornings at 7, the hillside dew pearl, the larks on the wing, snails on the thorn, God's in his heaven, all's right with the world.
Excellent.
Outstanding. Well done, Chris. Well done. Well done.
Very smooth.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, T. You started at the red wheelbarrow,
Yes.
the purple cow.
Well, those were the first two, so let's see. I mean, I haven't done any of them since after doing it in class, so.
So here's what we're gonna do.
We'll find out together.
Okay, so hold on. So here's what we're gonna do. So if he kind of gives the signal that he needs help, somebody from in here, give him a little nudge from memory, not from the book, Scott.
How about this? I'll point at the wall, and that'll be the signal.
Okay,
Besides
so if he
that,
doesn't
please
do
don't
that,
help. Just let me try to dig for it.
let him go to his connect home to find it. Action.
On 3, on 2.
Cut. No, it's not on 3, on 2. It's just 3, 2. Action.
3, 2.
Red wheelbarrow. So much depends on a red wheel barrel. Glazed with rainwater beside the white chickens.
Okay, good. So it was only one word,
A.
which was what? What one word did he say?
Barrow.
Huh?
Barrow.
It's not barrel, it's barrow, but
Beside. He said beside.
it is beside. Upon. Okay, so you said on, but it's upon, but that was very good. That's where we didn't stop. Good,
Thanks.
excellent. One down.
One down. Okay. Purple cow. I never once saw a purple cow. But I know I'd never want to be one. No, I'd never like to be one. Oh, hold on, no, I haven't.
But I can,
No, now I got it, no errors.
Start from the
One
top.
the guy once.
Running it
no
from the
once.
back, running it from the top, thank you, but no, thank you. All right,
No, thank you, you too. Go.
appreciate you, but hold on, my turn.
Garbage.
What's that?
Garbage.
You?
So you.
Sounds good, homie. I'll listen to you all you want when it's your turn.
Okay,
Just quit your attitude.
just let it go. Both of you, just focus.
I ain't the one, homie.
I'll beat your motherfucking ass.
Thank you,
Sounds good.
Okay, guys,
Why you even tripping, man? Why you
You always,
gotta go on
Don't
you always
make
slick
me-
with your tongue, right? You always talking slick, right? I ain't the one.
okay, wait,
Right, the one
hold
needed.
on. I'm gonna make a call in a second. Just, you don't
Just
have
leave
to
it alone.
Put your
respond.
ass up under me, boy.
You don't have to
With your boy
respond.
neither. Purple cow. I never saw a purple cow. I never thought to see one. I never saw a purple cow. I never thought to see one. But I do know anyhow, I'd rather see one than be one.
Okay, so that was a very good improvisation going through it. Good job.
Thank
So here's how it would normally be. I never saw a purple cow. I never,
hope to be one.
But I can tell you anyhow, rather
but I can tell you anyhow, I'd rather see than be. But you filled in the words that had a very similar meaning, and they were the right
To
type
try
of
to
word.
make
So
it
good
connect.
job.
Motherfucking tail.
So the next one, let's see. Next poem. Great men. And by the way, great men can persevere under pressure, and great men have seen worse things in their life.
Correct.
Small things. People who rush to anger off of small words show that they have small minds. And I'm fine and with peace. This is more important. And we good. I'm good if you're good. We'll leave it at that for now.
You can calm off that. That's all you do.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me just remind you about something, Jamie. This is on tape right now.
Nah.
So I'm good. Anyways, great men. Not gold, but men can make a people great and strong. Those who work while others sleep. No. Running from the top, running it from the top. Excuse me, everyone. Great men. Not gold, but men can make a people great and strong. Men who, for truth and honor's sake, stand fast and suffer long. Brave men who work while others sleep, who dare while others fly. Build the nation's pillars deep and lift them to the sky.
Thank you. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
That's not even on the list.
Okay, next.
How about Mr. Mentu?
Actually, I never did Mr. Mentu yet. I wanted to,
Okay.
but
That's all.
about the beautiful.
Okay, there you go. Action. Action. Brandon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So 3, 2, 1. Sorry.
Beautiful. Beautiful are the faces that they wear. A light to show a pleasant spirit there. Beautiful are they the hands that do. deeds, noble, good and true. Beautiful are they the feet that go swiftly to lighten another's woe. Beautiful.
Good job.
Thank you.
Another good one of changing it slightly, but having it work.
Thank you.
You provide.
Remarkable decorum under pressure.
I
Good job.
do, 3 blind mice.
Okay, action.
3, 2,
3 blind mice in the accent of Cary Green. The beautiful Cary Green. And no, it is not rubbish. 3 blind mice running from the farmer's wife, cutting off their tails with a knife. Have you ever seen anything in your life as 3 blind mice?
Good. Nobody else liked it?
No.
Okay, you got any more?
I do. I'm just trying to go through my mind of all the things all the ones I did up here at the
Okay,
podium.
we got
Pledge of Allegiance.
okay.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America for I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good delivery. Missed a line, but that's okay.
All right.
Good job. Anybody else want to do this? Okay, let's go on with Moran, Cerf.
Good.
What's good? What's
No.
Handshake for you.
2.
Fair enough.
Sit down, 2.
Then there it is.
Sit down, 2.
Oh, there you go.
I'm done with you.
Leave him
So
alone.
what you want to do then, man?
Okay,
Leave him
Since you
alone.
want to keep on pushing it, what you want to do?
Just leave him alone, man. You should slow down, man. See that? Damn. Fucked up.
yes, we need some officers here. Somebody's got to be removed from class. We've got a disturbance. 5th floor, South Tower. Yeah. Okay, bye.
Take them both out.
Okay, so I don't think there's any point discussing this further. So let's talk about Moran Cerf. Okay? What's the first question?
Was he a good presenter?
Was he?
I said no, but it's because I couldn't comprehend his accent with the rapid pace of it.
Where's his accent from?
I think he said he was from Israel. I mean, it's
Correct.
just the fact,
Okay, so you didn't understand what he was saying?
not at the pace that I could keep up. I think even if he spoke perfect English, it would have been difficult with the information.
Let's go, sir.
Yeah.
Disturbance?
Put them out.
Like a major or a minor, would you call it?
It was minor, but it was heading towards major. Next call would have been for an extraction.
Last name?